Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to the tutorial for the winter seasonal cluster stamps. Now today we're going to make a gorgeous card, and all the details of everything that I use I shall put in a detailed list on my website, and that's www.annemarievaux.com. There will be a list of ingredients, there'll be extra photos, etc. and there'll be all the tutorials for the cluster stamps as I go along and create them. Eventually we'll be building up a good library of different tutorials and different how-to guides as well. So the winter seasonal cluster stamps, please don't be put off thinking, well, what occasion would I make a card using winter on? Well, you know what? Why not make a card for people that don't celebrate Christmas? Maybe they've got a different belief to you and Christmas isn't their thing. So maybe letting them know you're thinking of them with a seasonal card, a winter card, because I think it's nice to send cards all year round, but especially at Christmas. And sometimes you don't want to feel like you're leaving anybody out. So that's, I think, a great idea with the winter stamps. Ideal for journaling, scrapbooking, so many different things. We're going to make a winter card with these using very limited items, but it will be a beautiful card. So those are the winter seasonal cluster stamps. We're also going to be using, to go with it, from the Sweet Dixie range, from the A4 paper, we're going to be using the purple cardstock, the lavender cardstock, and the lilac pastel cardstock. So those are the three cardstocks in the colours that we're going to be using, as well as the white smooth stamping card. I've used the white smooth stamping card on all of the tutorials for the seasonal cluster stamps. So the first thing that we're going to need is our base card. So this is a 7x5 inch card, and it is just white, a plain white blank card. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the edge. And the insert for the card could not be easier. I've simply used the cluster snowflake from the winter collection, and I've stamped along the edge, and then I've simply used the end snowflake just to tap the corners so it all matches. There's no sentiment or anything on this, and that's why I think it's ideal to send to anyone, because you've got a good space to write a message, let them know you're thinking of them, wishing them compliments of the season, etc. And it's just a pretty card. I've used shaded lavender from the shaded lilac, from the Distress inks, and it's set 4 that actual ink colour is in, from the range of Distress inks. Now you can see, I just want to point this out, because I'm just like you. Sometimes I stamp and think, oh no, that's not great. But I don't waste anything. So I've used the reverse for the insert. And this, as I say, is the smooth stamping card from Sweet Dixie. So you're not going to see my boo-boo on the back, because it's thick enough, it won't come through. And I'm just going to position the insert through the centre of the card, like so, and press it down. And that is our insert. So now we can turn our attention to the front of the card. So I'm just using my bone folder again to make sure that's a nice sharp crease. Now my base layer is the purple Sweet Dixie cardstock, and I've cut it down to 6.8 by 4.8 inches. So it's just that 0.2 that I've taken away to make a nice layer for the front of the card. So I can press that down. I had that on flat tape. I've got a second layer of, and I'm just going to check the colour. Yes, it's the lilac pastel, and I've cut that again, so that would be cut down to to 6.6 and 4.6 to create the layered effect. I've got flat tape on the back, I can peel that off, and I've left these as full layers. I haven't cut into them to be frugal. I've just left them as flat layers because I want the centre panel to sit. I'm not covering a great deal of it up, so I want it a nice flush finish. Now the next layer is a sheet of the smooth stamping card that I've cut down again to size, so it's another 0.2 smaller, so that would be 4.4 by 6.4. And then I've got flat tape on the back of it, and I've used the winter cluster stamps at either side of the cardstock. So I've just kept it to the sides using the plain cluster of the snowflakes. So I can add this, again, a flat layer, so it's on flat double-sided tape. And I'm just simply going to add it over the top of the previous layer. So far so good. And the ink I've used there is, again, the shaded lilac. Next, I've taken something I had in my stash, and it's actually a Sue Dix die from Sweet Dixie. And I'm not trying to keep brand with the tutorials, but I just thought this would work really well. Sue's got some beautiful dies, and I got these dies last Christmas for the snowflakes, and I thought it's going to work so well and they're going to look so pretty. So I've die cut 2 of the snowflakes out of the lilac pastel card, and I've simply added just a crystal in the centre of them, and I'm going to add both of the flakes just slightly to the edges of the card. I've got a little bit of flat tape on the back, and I'm not going to kind of worry about where they're sitting to the sides, but I want them kind of on the same line across, so to speak, so they marry up. So I'll just pull that one up a little bit. And the tape I've put on them was in the centre underneath the crystal, and then just to this side. So there's no tape on this side of either of the snowflakes. Now for the centre of our card, I've got some of the lavender cardstock that I've cut as a panel to fit through the centre. So I've cut it the same width of our card, 5 inches, and I'm placing it just over the centre, and it's catching the 2 snowflake sides. The next layer I have is the purple cardstock. So I've cut this, and I've got 3D foam, and I've cut it the same width, again 5 inches, but just a little narrower, so it's layering over the previous layer. So I can press that down. I've then taken the sentiment stamp Winter, and I've stamped, and I've elongated it by using the stamp twice. So I've stamped Winter and then inked it again and stamped this section here and this section here, just to make the stamp look as if it's even longer. And I've got it on 3D foam, and again on the smooth white stamping card. Gives an excellent finish to your stamping. So I'm going to press that down so you can see our layers are building up nicely in the centre. I've then die cut one of the snowflakes again in the lilac pastel card. I've got a piece of flat tape through the centre of it, and I'm going to position it over the word Winter, like that. And then, where I've actually stamped the Winter sentiment previously, I've just cut out the word winter and the actual border. I've got it on 3D foam and I'm going to position it over the top of the snowflake like that. So that's built up a layer. And then I've simply got a purple satin bow to sit over the top of the flake underneath the sentiment. And that is our card finished. So we've got a gorgeous amount of space for a nice long message to wish somebody happy Christmas, compliments of the season, etc. Let them know you're thinking of them, because it's a great card that's not specific to an occasion, so it would work for many occasions. We've got the gorgeous layers in the front. We haven't used too many products, but we've used a gorgeous mix of colours that all tone in so well with that gorgeous cardstock, and it just looks so pretty. It will go in a normal envelope because there's only a couple of layers on it, but you know what, that would stand proud on any mantelpiece, would that one. So please check my blog for lots more details, photos and the items that I've used for this, and for other tutorials as well. And I would just, and I'm saying blog, I've got to correct myself, I knew I'd do it at some point. It's my website, www.annemarievaux.com. Oops, and there we go, clanger for Christmas. So I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.